Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 19th of May, 2026, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I said 5, 6 years ago that the political parties would collapse, the whole political system would collapse. I didn't know quite how, but we're seeing it now in plain sight. We're seeing the Democrat Party collapse. We're seeing the old Republican Party collapse. We're seeing the Labour Party collapse. We're seeing the Conservative Party collapse. And in the case of Labour in the UK, there was a question, we could bring in Andy Burnham, he'll save you. Of course he will. Not. Keir Starmer has realised if he steps down, it's all over. The whole two-party system is over completely. He said it out loud. He doesn't realise how true that is. We're in the last days of these political parties. The collapse is fully underway. They will not survive, no matter who leads them, whether it be Democrats, whether it be Labour, whether it be Conservative or Republican. Those days are over. The old system is coming to an end. And Donald Trump has been at the helm of the dismantling of the old corrupt system. There is so much that is being dismantled, you have no idea. It's taken a lot longer than you and I had hoped for, but it's been a massive job. But now you can see it in plain sight. The complete collapse of the old system. It's dead. It's now getting buried. Drew, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. My first story of the day. The European Parliament has approved tougher migrant deportation measures across Europe. Supporters call it border protection. Critics warn it could deepen divisions as nationalist movements continue rising across the continent.
Well, we're seeing the deportation now of these migrants, but there's one major problem with that. Of course, these migrants need to go back to their own countries, but their own countries need to have the resources which are theirs and not have them stolen by Europe, the UK and the US corporation. The only problem is when all the migrants go home, who's going to deliver your Deliveroo? Who's going to clean your streets? Who's going to do the dirty jobs? Because the people in the UK have become lazy. The people in Europe have become lazy. The people in the US have become lazy. They've used migrant workers for so long because it's cheap. So suddenly you're going to have to get off your backside and get yourself a little job, or buy yourself a drone to deliver Deliveroo. You'll suddenly have to get back in the real world. But as much as you want the migrants to go, and I agree, they do need to go back to their own countries, but their own countries need to be left alone from being robbed by Europe, the UK, and the corporation of the United States. But then suddenly there's a huge void that needs to be filled by young people who are not used to hard work. I grew up in an era where hard work was part of life. You had to learn the hard way. My next story is about what's happening with attacks around the world, whether it be in the UAE, Iran, Venezuela, Ukraine, Russia. All of these attacks are highly visual in the news. The reality is what's being taken out is what was installed by the US corporation and Israel many years ago to destabilize these places. It's a white hat operation that is fully under control. And yet, the news will tell you a completely different story. The mainstream media makes out completely different story that has no bearing on the truth whatsoever. So if you want to know what's really going on, this is why we do the news every single day. And then we expand on it on the Insiders Club on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Don't miss it. Drew.
Next up, NATO has launched its largest ever special forces exercise in Europe with elite troops, helicopters and military aircraft now operating across Greece and the Mediterranean. The alliance say the drills are defensive, but with tensions rising globally over Russia, Iran and cyber threats, many are asking whether this is preparation for something much bigger.
But there's a lot going on. There's a lot of exercise going on. There's a lot of visuals going on. And this is to wake up the masses. And it's amazing the lengths you have to go to wake up the masses. There is so much going on behind the scenes. You don't need to live in fear when you know what's going on. But if you don't know what's going on, you will be living in fear. I can assure you, everything is fully under control. It's under control of the good guys. We call them the white hats, but everything is fully under control. And Donald Trump, whether you like it or not, is doing God's work. This is a very carefully thought out plan to dismantle a very, very corrupt, evil system. I'm going to finish with one very interesting thing that I found out yesterday. In the UK, is known as the Freedom of Information, an FOI, where you can find out what's happening in the UK with a Freedom of Information request. And certain people put in a request to find out some very suspicious activity of the British royal family. Yeah, you guessed it. They're outside of the Freedom of Information requests. You can't make this stuff up. They were going to places and islands that they shouldn't go to. And we wanted to get the evidence. But we were blocked because the royal family in the UK are not subject to the FOI. They're outside of it. There are certain things that have been happening that are all going to be exposed, but it's going to be a lot harder than what we thought, because they've protected themselves so well. You tell me what you think. Should people like that, who are funded by the taxpayer, be outside of the Freedom of Information Act or not? I'll leave you with that thought. That was the news on the 19th of May, 2026. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Hi guys, it's Charlie here. If you're looking to protect your future with gold or silver, pick the region you're in and choose one of our trusted partners.